Welcome to the weekly Zohar class. The portion of this week is Re'eh, in the meaning of seeing, in the meaning of sight. By the way, we are in Facebook Live for the first 10 minutes. And then you can follow up in eresculturecenter.org or in my Facebook page to see the full class. The portion of this week, Re'eh, seeing, sight. Last week was hearing and listening. I hope you go back and you listen to the class again. This week is about seeing. By the way, this is the only portion in the Torah that its names also in the 72 names of God, Re'eh. The 72 names is all about miracles, is about the wonders. This portion is also about wonders and miracles. It's the only portion that has this amazing power. This portion comes also right before the month of Virgo. Next week, Wednesday and Thursday, is the new moon of Virgo. Virgo, we are going back for the whole year and to look at what we've done. And this portion is helping us to see better, to have this sight of our past year actions and achievements. Re'eh is all about what is my perception of life. You know, what I see is the complete truth. What I see with my eyes, is it the complete truth? Or there is a spiritual seeing. Last week we learned about spiritual hearing, and this week we're going to learn about spiritual seeing. Like wonderful Amir Jun always says, you know, with our physical eyes we see the reality, but there is a spiritual side that we can see the truth, the emet. So this portion starts with a very powerful sentence. Let me read it in English. It says, "Behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse." So this portion is talking about that the Creator, by the way, you know, the past few years we said that the Creator give us blessing and curse. That's not the right language. He said, I set in front of you. I set in front of you blessing or curses. It's up to us, you know, which one we choose. And there is a very good secret about the word curse in Hebrew. Curse in Hebrew is klala. The numerical value for Lamed Lamed Hey is 65, which is equal to the name of the God Adonai. Adonai, which is the God of the physical world. And the Kuf have two meanings. It could be either klipa, a negative side or reality, or it could be the kedusha, which means the holiness, which means the actual truth. So, not necessarily the word curse means curse in a word in a language of English. It can mean that there is in a curse. Let me explain what curse in our perception is. In our perception, anything sad, anything negative, anything I don't understand, anything harsh, any diseases, any what we call bad luck, or misfortune, or any challenges that come to my life, that's what the spiritual language, they call it a curse. So if I look at it only with my physical eyes, if I look at it with the Kabbalah language, with the klipa, with my ego, if I look at it only as a victim person, if I only look at it from the dark side, so my reality is going to be like a curse. But if I look at it with my spiritual eye, if I look at it, if I see the truth in that difficulty, in that challenge, then I'm going to see the blessing actually within that dark situation. We have to understand the light of the Creator is the infinite goodness, infinite love and joy and happiness. There is no situation that the Creator is going to put us that we're going to think is a curse, or it's a bad luck, or it's a misfortune, or it's an accident. We had a class about accident. Accident don't exist. It's only our limited, wrong perception from the ego side. So, like this formula tells us, everything in a reality is controlled with Adonai, with the Creator Himself. It's our perception. The way I look at it, make it a curse or blessing. All of us, before we study Kabbalah, we just, believe in our normal sight. We didn't believe in any other sight that exists. I'm not talking about prophecy. I'm not talking about seeing the future. I'm talking about seeing the truth, seeing the story behind what we see. So, I don't know if you saw the picture I loaded for this class, that, our reality is being fed by our senses, by our sight, hearing, smelling, tasting, and touching. Our eyes can be very deceiving. It can be very, very deceiving. We know that the black part of our eyes, the pupil gets larger and it gets smaller, right? When there is a lot of light, it becomes smaller. When there is no light, it's become bigger. So it looks like there is some kind of a filtration. Not necessarily we receive the whole truth. There is a resistance, there is a filtration. And also our eyes turn the picture upside down, and our brain turn it back up again. So there is a process of what we are seeing. So between the filtration and between the process that our brain do to a picture, not necessarily we see the truth, not necessarily we see the whole reality. And on top of that, my experiences, my images that hacked in my head, my belief system, ideas that I brought from my parents' house, ideas that I brought from the old country, all those information that we store in our memory affect the image that we see. It's a fact that two people looking at the same thing, they never see the same thing. They see totally different pictures. So, and a spiritual person always see the goodness. And how much good or how much bad you see in every situation, it tells what level of spirituality you are. How far did you came? And I always share with you guys, don't look at bad images, don't look at bad news, don't share bad news. Don't go to negative places, because those images, those memories affect our perception, affect how we see the world. Are we still in 10 minutes? Or?
1 minute.
And again, our biggest enemy of seeing the truth is the ego. I'm wise, I'm smart, I have IQ, what I see is the truth, is the reality. I don't believe anything behind what I see or smell or touch. So the ego is always feeding us, telling us that what you see is the true reality. Can you imagine that we can shift our perception, we can shift our eyesight, so we can see the story behind the story, we can see the goodness in every situation. So we are done with the Facebook Live. You can follow up in our website. Thank you. So imagine you could shift your sight. You can see the truth. You can, if people want to deceive you or lie to you, you could see the truth. You want to choose a partner for business or for life. Imagine you could see. You have the spiritual side to see their true identity. Imagine, I want to start a business. I want to make a move. I could see, the truth behind a decision I want to make. And they call it clarity. In the language of Kabbalah, they call it clarity. I want to have this clarity. I want everything to be clear to me. How many times we make a decision, we make a move, and we know it's the absolute truth, and it's the perfect truth, is the right move for me. Down the road, maybe 10 years, 20 years, you go back and say, wow, how stupid I was. How could I not see, that the reality about that person? How could I not see the reality about that business I want to start? So we cannot see the truth. We see only the 1%, which is the reality, and they call it the illusion reality. And the biggest problem is that we don't even question, we don't even ask. Somebody make us mad, right away we want to react. We don't even ask the question, what is the purpose of that person? What is the reason? Why I see these things? Why this person is in my life? We don't even ask the question. We just see the reality, make a decision, and we move on. There is a famous sentence in Hebrew. It said, "Ezehu chacham haroeh et hanolad." Who is truly smart? Somebody that sees the end result. Somebody that sees what's going to happen when I make this move, when I make this partnership. So we have to develop this eyesight, this spiritual side, that we can see behind the reality. And the wisdom actually work against us. The more smarter we become, the less we pay attention to the truth, because I'm smart. I see it, I know it. So one of the formulas that help us see better, in Hebrew, sight is re'iyah, resh, aleph, yud, hey, and there is also the word yir'ah. If you remember, we spoke about yir'ah. Yir'ah, the face value of it is the fear of God, but yir'ah means awe in English. It means awe. The best way to explain yir'ah is, I'm sure you stand in front of the powerful person. Maybe you stand in front of a big teacher. Maybe you stand in front of a huge spiritual person. Maybe you stand in front of the king or the president. I know somebody, my teacher, stand in front of the king, and he described it as unbelievable experience. When you stand in front of the king, what chokhmah, what wisdom. You are full of awe, full of respect, you feel their energy, you feel their power. So you shut your mouth, you shut your wisdom. Can you imagine you standing in front of your creator? You're standing in front of your maker? So that's the kind of awe you're talking about. And it's so amazing. In Hebrew, Sight and awe is the same word. So the trick is, if you have your wisdom before your awe, before your awe, you're blind. You don't see the truth. But if you have your yirah before your wisdom, then you will see the truth. The first thing, the first situation, anything happen, any circumstances happen to me, you said, you know what, I'm going to let my wisdom to the side. It's coming from my maker, it's coming from the creator. It's not an accident. There is a reason behind it. There is a reason I'm facing this challenge. When I start with my awe, when I start with my yirah, I recognize that it was meant for me. It was designed for me to go through this challenge. And then I use my wisdom that I learned from Kabbalah. Then I'm going to be able to see the truth. So again, this sentence says, if you use your wisdom, if your ego, the other word for the wisdom is ego, if your ego don't let you see the true reality, according to Kabbalah says, we become blind, small view. So we need to improve our true vision of the reality. We cannot rely on our eyes. I said it's filtering it's filtering the reality, it's processing it. So we need to improve our true vision. We need to have clarity. When I see a person, I see his soul, I see his intentions. I see the connection. You know, we all been studying for some time. We already learned and we already know what is chesed, what is kindness. We recognize the kindness in people. We recognize the goodness in people. We start feeling their soul. We start feeling their neshama. We start feeling their heart. Not necessarily by talking to them. As soon as we see them, we already feel the goodness about them. So we have to be aware that our consciousness, our mind, constantly injecting its past memory into what we're seeing now. If once I saw a, I don't know, ugly situation and I see it again, right, I jump into conclusion. No, I don't want to get involved, I want to run away. Our past memory constantly injecting its input into what we see now. So any situation, any scenario, we have to pause. Don't jump to any conclusion. We have to wait and see the reality, the purpose. What is this person in my life? We all have unique experiences. We all tune into different radio stations. Everything that happened to you is designed for you. So instead of looking at it as a bad luck or bad day or misfortune, see, gradually develop this eyesight. What is it in it for me? What is the hidden message within it? There was an interesting example from a Kabbalist. He says, fruit has a shell. Usually it's not that sweet, but the inside is sweet and it's delicious. So we have exterior and we have interior. Also all human beings, they have an exterior and they have an interior. The exterior not necessarily is good, but all the souls, all the neshama, all the fruits inside are good. So any situation, any circumstances, any challenge, anything that we think is a curse, the inside of it, the outside, the exterior, yes, might be ugly, but the interior is sweet, there is a great blessing in it. We just have to reveal it. We have to unveil it. There is many situations that happen to us It looks horrible, but down the road, we look at it and it was actually a blessing for us. Sometimes, God forbid, we go out of business and we end up having a much better business. Maybe we left our motherland country, but thank God, Baruch Hashem, we are in a much better country for now. So at that moment, it looks horrible, but we have to learn, we have to adapt this perception that there is a blessing hidden in it. By the way, we're talking about Yirat Hashem. Yirat is like having the awe for the Creator. The Kabbalists, they suggest we have to have the same awe for the Satan. So we have to have the same awe, the same fear from the negative side. Never underestimate the negative side. We have to have an awe for it. We have to be aware how dangerous, how harmful the hate, the anger, the jealousy, the judgment could be. How much harmful it can have for us. So it's not like I have all the respect, I have all the appreciation, I have the awe for the light, but not necessarily I don't care about the negativity. It's okay for me to get angry. No, we have to have a fear from the negative side also. It could be a very destructive force. So we always have to play this interior and exterior. Interior and exterior. I come to my kenisa, maybe it's hot, maybe the air conditioning is not working, maybe my favorite friend is not here on Shabbat. That's the exterior. I'm coming to kenisa to connect. I'm coming here for the interior. I'm coming for the soul of the kenisa. I'm coming to connect to the soul of my prayer, not only to the outside of it. One problem that we have with our perception is habit. We have the same habit over and over. We're constantly judging the same situation. We're constantly getting angry at the same situation. We constantly become, annoyed from the same situation. So this habit of I'm always get annoyed from the same thing. They didn't serve my food on time. I can't find a parking space. My mail not delivered on the same time. If I have habit of getting angry and upset about the same situation, then I won't have the right perception. It's like the Kabbalah says, we become blind. Who knows what is the message? Who knows what is the blessing behind that annoying thing? So we have to pause, we have to take a moment, and we have to see, try to investigate, ask the question. What is the blessing? What is the hidden secret behind that negative situation that I'm experiencing? One of the practicing that we do is we say a blessing before we eat something. This portion is also talking about kosher animals. Why do we always say a blessing before we eat something? If we just grab it and we eat it, we are just satisfying our stomach, our hunger. But if we pause, we say the blessing for it, we connect to the interior energy of it, then we're going to receive the blessing of it. Like last week we said, every situation, a good friend, a good house, a good car, a good job, I have to pause and say the blessing and see the soul of it also, not only the outside of it. So what the Kabbalists they suggest, the more we practice the pausing, seeing the inside, appreciating it, seeing the truth behind the situation, the more we develop this eyesight, the more we develop this vision of the truth. If I do it once, twice a day, it's okay. But imagine I do it 100 times a day, I see your soul. I see the soul of the food that I eat. I see the soul of my children. I see the soul of my family. I see the soul of my house. Like we did in mezuzah today, you know, I walk into the house. I connect to the soul of the house by connecting to the mezuzah. The more I pause and I connect to the soul, to the interior of everything in my life, the more I develop this eyesight, this vision of seeing the truth, not only the reality. Again, the Torah starts with blessing and curse. The bottom line is, it's a very harsh lesson. Everything in a reality is a curse. And everything in spirituality, the truth is a blessing. If I connect only to the reality, it's a curse. And I'm going to give you guys an example. How much money is enough? How much money is enough? $1 million? $10 million? $1 billion? How much money is enough? So if you connect only to the reality, you're never happy. It's never enough. So it's a curse because you're never happy, you're never satisfied. But if you connect to the, you know, even the $10, you know, with the $10 you do something good for yourself, for somebody else. You appreciate the blessing of the $10. You connect to its truth. I mean, there is always a hole, there's always a chisaron, there's always a void. If you connect only to the reality, there is always a void. How much clothing you can buy, how many cars you can buy, how many surgeries you can make to be good looking, you know. So the reality, the way they explain it, is a curse because there is always void. It's never enough. I'm never satisfied. I'm never fulfilled. Never. So, on the other hand, if I connect to the truth, if I connect to the truth, to the emet, if I connect to the soul, is a endless of fulfillment. Is an endless of happiness and joy. You know, if you have the right partner, not because of their money, not because of their look, not because of their position, you're happy forever. We all know the stories about getting married for money and looks. After 10, 20 years, you know, it's not there anymore. But if you marry somebody for their soul, it's forever. You know, there are a lot of wisdoms out there. There's a lot of spiritual classes. There is a lot of, you know, spiritual studying. There is a lot of self-improvement. They're all wonderful, but, you know, there is nothing like our own Torah and the Zohar and Kabbalah, because the Torah is endless. It's endless of goodness and happiness and joy with no limit of time and space. You know, I've been doing this for the past 12, 13 years. The only time that I don't have no pain in my body, the only time I'm not tired, the only time I'm not worried, the only time I'm not have doubt, the only time I'm not nervous or angry or hateful or judgmental is when I'm studying, when I'm into this wisdom and into the Torah and the Zohar. I'm sure you all experience it. Is the truth, is tree of life. So this portion, you know, Re'eh, the conclusion is, see what the Creator gave us. He gave us the Torah and the Zohar. There is never void in it. You can never get disappointed from it. You know, we've been studying for the past 10 years. You know, in these classes, we feel so fulfilled. We feel so happy, so joyful. No void. No, there is no end into it. So, we are right before Rosh Hashanah. You know, we are right before entering Israel according to the story of the Torah, Moshe and the Creator says, Re means see. He says, you don't see? You don't see the truth? After all these years we've been studying, you don't see it? Come on, wake up. See it. Look at the blessing of this wisdom of the Torah. Look at this wisdom of the Kabbalah and the Zohar. Re, see it. There's anything else out there that satisfies you? There's anything else that gives you healing and happiness? I mean, a lasting one, a forever one. If we believe our eyes, yes, there is sickness, yes, there is death, there is misfortune, there's accidents, that's our eyes. But when you connect to the Etz HaChaim, the tree of life, there is no death. We don't believe in death. There is no sickness. There is no misfortune. There is no bad luck. There is no accident. There is a truth and a reason behind everything. So this wisdom teaching us how to see the truth. There is a concept called safety net. It's a beautiful concept in Kabbalah, safety net. You know how, like, there is a shows in Las Vegas, there is they're jumping up and down, trampoline, and if, God forbid, there is an accident and somebody fall, and there is a safety net that saved them. To all these curses that we think are curses, they're actually safety nets. I want you to pay attention to this. You're going to like it, family. So safety net is saving that person from hitting the ground and hurting himself big time. So whatever happened to our life, all the sickness, all the misfortunes, all the challenges, all the bad BRE, whatever you want to call it, is actually a safety net. Because we done something, again, it could be all the way back to Adam and Eve, or it could be in this lifetime, or it could be in a past lifetime. We done something. We live in a world of cause and effect. We done something negative, so we are supposed to hit the ground. But our Creator, for His love and chesed for us, He says, you know what, I won't let you hit the ground. I'll let you hit the safety net. I give this challenge in front of you. I give this obstacle in front of you. I give this challenge in the health for you. So you awaken, you change yourself. So I don't want you to hit the ground. I want you to awaken and do the teshuvah, fix your mistake, and bounce back. So whatever you see in your life from tomorrow, flat tire, whatever it is, look at it as a safety net. I done something, maybe this lifetime, the past lifetime, I'm supposed to hit the ground, but my Father put this safety net for me. That challenge, that darkness, that temporary misfortune is a safety net. They give me a chance to bounce back before I hit the ground. Learn the lesson. It's there to teach you something. There is a blessing, there is an Adonai into that darkness. There is nothing by the light force of the Creator, nothing. So, remember that concept, safety net. Next time you come across of something that is heavy, that is dark, look at it as a safety net. So, in order for us to be able to see better, we talked many subjects. The next one is resist jumping into conclusion. I see a situation, I see whatever, something I don't like, maybe whatever. They cut in front of me, somebody that in my perception is ugly or behaving in an ugly way. So resist jumping to conclusion. Pause. Give it a chance. Ask yourself, what is the true meaning of this situation? I want to have clarity. Having clarity and being able to see the soul, or being able to see the interior, it takes time. It's not easy. It takes years of studying, adding chokhmah, practicing the yirah, the awe. The more I pause and I connect, the more I don't jump into conclusion, then I'm going to gradually, I'm going to be able to develop my sight to see the truth. If I'm reactive, if I'm jumping into conclusion, if I let my past memory, if I let my mind and conscious to dictate and tell me what I'm seeing, then I won't be able to see the truth. So resist your reactive perception. Search for internal. Don't answer right away to what you see. Like I said, this portion is also talking about animals. It's all talking about kosher animals. So it's a funny sentence. It says, you eat a pig, you act like a pig. You eat etz hachaim, you eat from the tree of life, you act like tree of life. So the more we connect to this wisdom, the more we connect into the Torah and the Zohar and this wisdom of Kabbalah, we're going to act more like etz hachaim. We're going to act like tree of life. We're going to be able to see the tree of life. And this portion is also talking about blessing, that we have to bless our food. There is a huge concept that in Kabbalah, that everything we eat and consume and we wear and we build, coming from where? Coming from the earth. Everything we eat, everything we wear, everything we have is from the earth. You remember at the beginning of the creation, the earth was dark, it was tohu vabohu, chaos, there was nothing here. So the Creator put sparks of His own light into the ground. There was nowhere else to put it. Like we have diamonds and we have iron and gold and all the good metals in the earth. There's also a lot of blessing, there's a lot of sparks of the Creator within the earth. So when I eat something, I want to connect to that spark of the Creator that was planted into the earth and now I'm using it. If I'm wearing the clothing, it came from the earth. I'm buying a car, I'm having a house, it's coming from the earth. So I need to connect to that spark of the Creator. I need to connect to its soul. I need to connect to its interior in order for me to develop clarity and have a better sight. So I can look at life from the limited perception of my eyes, or I can look at life from the viewpoint of the Creator. Can you imagine? Look at the difference. You're writing, so I'm going to repeat this sentence. It's beautiful. Before we jump to that sentence, so like when we eat, we say the blessing, new clothing blessing, new car blessing, new house blessing. The reason is to extract, to get the spark, to get the blessing, to get the bracha out of that item I'm using. I don't want to use only the exterior part of it, I want to extract the blessing within it. This beautiful sentence, we're going to read it again. I can look at life from limited perception or from the viewpoint of the light. Unlimited self. How much can I see? How much can I understand? It's very limited. But can you imagine if I put myself in the Creator and I look at that situation from the Creator's point of view? Why the Creator give me this many children, or why the Creator gives me boys or girls, or why the Creator give me this business, or why the Creator give me this life, why the Creator put me in this class? Am I just here for entertainment, have a good time, or am I here to extract, to see what the Creator wants from me, Why is the purpose He put me in this class? So in every situation, I want to see, I want to put myself in the Creator's position and to see what He wants from me. What is the reason I'm experiencing what I'm experiencing? Since we talked about the Torah, let's read about it. You know, this portion Re'eh is such a powerful section that there is no Zohar for it. I mean, there is a Zohar for it, but it's not revealed yet. Because can you imagine if this portion of Zohar Re'eh would be revealed to us, we would be able to read it and learn how to see the truth. And this is it, that's the true reality. We're going to be in heaven. So we are not ready for it yet. That's why that portion is not revealed to us. So the only thing that relates to Re'eh is so powerful, it takes us back to Bereshit, take us back to the creation, the first book of the Zohar, Zohar number 1. It takes us back to the moment of the creation. How powerful this portion is, that is compatible to the portion of the creation. It's a beautiful section, a lot of good meaning to it. We are in book number 1, page 108. He's talking about Rabbi Shimon's talking about the power of the Torah. He's talking about the power of Etz HaChaim, tree of life. We just spoke, do we want to connect only to the physical reality of the money, beauty, and having a good time for a temporary moment? Or we want to connect to this awesome, endless, limitless energy of tree of life. That is the true fulfillment. So we're going to start reading the English, and then we're going to continue reading the Aramaic. Beautiful, powerful. Again, we are book number 1, page 108. I'm going to start reading from the top of the page. Don't cross your hands, don't cross your legs. If you don't have the book, just listen to it. I'm going to go slow. It's a beautiful reading. The Zohar reveals that the study of the Torah connects us to the tree of life reality, a realm of pure fulfillment and infinite spiritual light. Is it nice or what? Beautiful so far? This tree of life connection, which is achieved by learning Torah, radiates a powerful protective light. This light is instantly drawn into our lives at the moment we gaze upon the Aramaic verses. פתח רבי שמעון ואמר, מאי דכתיב ויסב חזקיהו פניו אל הקיר והתפלל אל אדוני. תחזה כמה הוא חילה תקיפה דאורייתא וכמה הוא עלה כל כולה. דכל מען דאשתדל באורייתא לא דחיל מעלי ומיתתי, ולא דחיל ממרעין בישין דעלמא בגין דאהו אחי באילנה דחיה ויליף מעיניה בכל יומה. Rabbi Shimon opened the discussion by speaking about the verse. The Chizkiyahu turned his face to the wall and prayed to Hashem. Come and see how powerful is the might of the Torah and how high it raises above all. Because whoever conducts his life according to the Torah has no fear of those above or below. And mishaps or illnesses of this world do not concern him. Through the Torah, he is attached to the tree of life and learns from it every day. We're going to jump to the next English section. The Torah teaches every person how to walk a straight path. It gives advice how to repent and return to one's master, to cancel the decree against him. Because even though a decree has been given not to cancel, the decree against him, it shall nevertheless be cancelled and not be applied to him anymore in this world. So for this purpose, man should occupy himself in the study of the Torah day and night, not deviate from it, as it is written, you shall meditate day and night. So if he deviates from the Torah or he abandoned it, it is a thought he abandoned the tree of life. Let's jump to the next one, is the last one. Come and see, good advice for people. When a person lies on his bed at night and goes to sleep, he should wholeheartedly accept upon himself the heavenly kingdom, and he shall quickly prepare to return his entrusted soul to him. Then he shall be immediately spread from all the bad diseases and evil spirits, and they shall have no power over him. What is the Zohar is teaching us? It's how amazing was it, right? Beautiful writing. It says if you put your life, with the Torah, with tree of life, there is no more illnesses, there is no more diseases. And bigger than that, he says if there is a decree, if there is a destiny, a negative, bad destiny is waiting for us, the study of the Torah can change that decree, and I definitely experienced it, and I'm sure you guys, all of you guys experienced it. So, we are not talking about the religiously, like praying to the Torah, kissing the Torah, or hugging the Torah, to study the wisdom of the Torah. That's what we are doing here. This wisdom changed our life. How many stories of, sick people that got, Baruch Hashem, they got better. How many misfortunes, how many bad relationships got better. So, it's not from the religious part of it, it's from the studying and learning. It's the consciousness, it's the vision, it's the hearing, it's understanding the blueprint of this universe. How does it work? We have to, again, not from the religious point of the view, from understanding the rules of this universe. And whoever created this universe, he gave us the blueprint of the universe, which is Torah. There is no other philosophy, there's nothing else that has access to this blueprint. We're going to end the class with two beautiful points. How can I have more Kedusha? How can I see the truth from the point of view of holiness, Kedusha? We all buy clothing, right? We all go and I choose size extra large because my body is extra large. You choose a small, you choose a medium, you choose, your size because your body would fit in that clothing size. So, what is your spiritual clothing? What is your spiritual clothing? How much kindness, how much love, how much understanding, how much chesed, how much tiferet, how much emunah there is within you. Because if it's small, then that amount of light gonna fit into your vessel. If your body can handle extra large amount of light, then you're gonna receive extra amount of light. If your body can receive only small amount of light, that's how much you're gonna receive. So the more we work on our 10 Sefirot, this is the blueprint of the Creator and us. How much change I'm willing to bring to my life? The number one is change. How much wisdom I can bring to my life? How much understanding? How much kindness, love? How hero can I be? Strong can I be to change myself? How much beauty and balance? How much emunah, victorious? How much shalom? How much, do good, stay away from bad? And how much joy and happiness I can bring to myself and others? In Hebrew they call it libush, in Kabbalah language. Libush in Farsi, lebas. What is your lebas? What is your libush? How much of this you have within you? The more you have, the more light you receive. The more light you have, you can see better. You can see the truth. You know, in the last point, and we're gonna finish the class with, we always talk about blessing of the Kohanim. You always ask me about the Kohanim. There is a sentence about Shabbat. He says, Ani mekadshechem. He says, God says, I'm the only one that can make you guys kadosh. I cannot make myself kadosh. You know, I can try. I do the job. I do the work. But I cannot make myself kadosh. I cannot make myself holy. So even in the Sidurim for Shabbat, if you read it, if you pay attention, he says, you do the job on Shabbat, Ani, which means God, I'm going to make you guys kadosh. So how can I receive more kedusha? How can I have more kedusha with me? So I have to work on the 6 days. I have to prepare myself, you know, work on myself, change myself, more kindness, more love, more understanding. Don't react to situations, see the truth, and then I come on Shabbat, then I'm going to receive the holiness. I'm going to add more holiness to myself for the next week so I can see better. Again, you know, you remember the two kufs, the kelipa and the kedusha? I can see the truth if I have more kedusha within. How am I going to have the kedusha within me? By doing the job. Who's going to give me the kedusha? The Creator on Shabbat. How? During the Kohanim. During the Kohanim, we receive the kedusha of Shabbat. There is no other way. They are the channel. They are the conduct between us and the Creator. They give us the kedusha. So that's why we cover ourselves. That's why we bow down. We are facing, that's why we have the awe, we have the yir'ah. I don't want to put my wisdom in front of my awe. I'm not going to say I don't believe in this looks like a magic, or I don't want to connect. I respect, I appreciate, I have this yir'ah, I have this awe to that situation. Through the Kohanim, I receive as much as I build clothing for myself, as much as I did libush, I build the labos of goodness for myself, that much kedusha I receive from the Kohanim. And the more kedusha I have, the more I can see the truth. Now I'm going to show you guys a trick, or the formula, how does it exactly work. Do you know how many words there is in the blessing of the Kohanim? How many words there is in the blessing of the Kohanim? 15. 15. What is the numerical value of Yud Hey? 15. Yud Hey, Yud is 10, Hey is 15. What is the rest of the name of the Creator? Is Vav Hey, is the vessel. If I'm building the vessel during the week, this is the Malchut, Hey is the Malchut, Vav is the Torah. How much through the Torah I build my life. I build a vessel for my life. I build a libush. This is my clothing with the help of the Torah. Reminding you that all the Torah starts with the Vav, all the columns of the Torah. How much Torah I used to build the clothing in my life during the week, that much blessing I'm going to receive from the Kohanim. Yud Hey. That's why there's the 15 words, and the name of the Creator is the 15. So these two Heys, they're equal. The light of the Creator is infinite. So what clothing size you're going to build for yourself, how big are you going to make it to receive more light from the Kohanim. Isn't that beautiful? You know, 15 words, and the Yud Hey is also 15. And last class, we run out of the time, we also cover that in the name of the Creator, there is two Heys. You know, the Yud K Vav K. And we said this Hey is Dinim, is a judgment, and this one is Chesed, kindness. The Chasadim, the kindness of the Creator. So the more and they are exactly the same, the two hays they're equal. So if I learn to switch to what I see as misfortune, what I see as a bad luck, if I'm gonna learn to switch it, change my perception, it's not bad, it's not a disease, it's not an accident, it's not a misfortune. There is a light hidden within it. Then I'm elevating this hay to this hay, and the blessing and the barakah and the sustenance and the healing is going to reveal itself. I know it was a little bit complicated, but we're going to turn off the camera, and if you have a question, we can talk about it. Thank you very much for coming here and being here.